Welcome to Jerry's Fish Room.
Alright guys, I'm here at Daytona Tropical Fish, or Daytona Aquarium, better known as Cichlid Express, and gonna go check out what they've got, bring you along, show you some fish, and then we're gonna see what we're gonna walk out with. Trying to find a couple of tank mates for my Starry Night. Sorry for the loud noise out here, but they're right off the main drag. This here is in Daytona, as you could tell by the name. They're awesome people. They have a breeding facility in the back. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to take you through that. Insurance purposes and stuff, they can't let anybody back there. But we're going to have a little time to talk with the owner and go look at the fish, and then we'll show you what I got. So guys, I appreciate you coming along with me. So let's go take a look and see what we can find.
All right, so as we come into the store, one of the first tanks that I saw here was a mixture of Africans, and there may be some South Americans in there as well. That could be a Vieja. I'm not real familiar with some of these fish. However, I know there's a couple of Mbuna in there. You saw the lab. And then as we drop down, there's some more South Americans, a good parrot-looking parrotfish, some Severums in there. Not sure if that's a Midas, a Texas Cichlid. Again, not real familiar with some of these breeds. It's a nice looking green Severum right there. And yeah, so he's got a mixture of the fish. He's got some community fish as well. This is a nice assortment of tiger barbs. Pretty awesome looking fish. Again, the tanks look really clean. Very pleased with that when I saw that. And again, here a mixture of angels. Looks like he's got maybe a black marble in there, just a standard angel, a couple of kois. And I think that one up there, that white one, is somewhat of a platinum type angel. Again, here's another mixture of Mbuna in there. One of the things I noticed as I walked through the store, and it could be because they are a busy place, don't have a lot of tags on there, and sometimes those tags are a little outdated. Here we see some more African cichlids, excuse me. Looks like a deepwater haps, if I remember correctly. I'm kind of going back now and watching this footage that I captured, and I'm going to narrate along here with it. Again, a mixture of some smaller South Americans. I think there was some Jack Dempsey's in there. I'm, again, not very familiar with a lot of these fish. Could have even been a flower horn or something up in the top right corner. But again, a very good mixture of fish. Here we go with some Mbunas. Looks like they got Golden Dragon in there and Jake. Again, man, look, you can see how clean those tanks are. Very, very clean. Which is always a positive. When you see clean tanks, you know pretty solidly you're going to get a better shot at getting some very healthy fish. Again, some more Africans. I love the OB compressicep in there. If it wasn't for the fact that I already had an albino, that fish there was definitely higher on my list. Just didn't want to put in another compressicep in there. Create some issues. Again, these are, I think these, if I remember right, we were asking, I believe these are a Texas cichlid, but I could be wrong. I don't actually remember. Again, not real familiar with a lot of these South Americans, as I only have one tank and it's very minimally stocked with a few species. There's a wonderful looking little prawn there, and again, a mixture of some haps and some mbuna. Again, love that. There's a Salvini right there. Absolutely love Salvini. I got one in my tanks as well. And then over here, he's got another, it's kind of, I know, hard to see, but a mixture of some mbuna, also some fronds, some small fronds in there. And again, like I said, these are all wonderful looking. There's some tinfoil barbs, chocolate cichlid in there, and towards the back, but small. There's a nice little flower horn. But a lot of these fish, again, were too small for my tank. Even these were too small for my African tank. And but good looking fish. Again, there's a Cuban cichlid. I don't think I've ever heard of that. But again, there's your ultrafrons, Geo ultrafrons. Don't know what an elati is, or I think that's what they call those. And but again, these fish, great for buying them, smaller, less expensive, trying to grow those fish out. If you get the time in the tank to do it. But then once you get into these bigger tanks, like I've got, yeah, again, some small fronds in there, some, looks like maybe lulupi, I'm not sure, Tanganyikan fish. But once you get into these bigger tanks and you've had your fish for a while, they have a tendency to grow out. And, so a lot of these smaller fish don't work anymore. There's a flower horn. It's, when you get to fish 6 and 7 inches, you're wanting to find something similar in size. There's a nice Azurus. There's a Hecli in the back. That was a nice looking fish. If I make some changes in my South American tank, that is a fish I'm considering. And then you've got, that is not an Agara flametail in there. I'm not sure exactly what those Africans are. Again, there's a assortment of some angels, small. Sorry, the camera's moving around pretty quickly. Just trying to get it all in kind of my first go around. Some red hooks, which I don't have any red hooks. We were actually considering buying a couple of these to mix in with my 4 that I have now. But actually just decided against that for right now. There's your albino Oscars. And not sure what these fish are. Again, I think it said Notitania possibly. See the bala sharks in there. Again, they've got all kinds of different fish mixed together. There's another, looks like peacock, some sort of an, I don't know, an OB or, there it is. It's a Eureka Jake. This was one of their display tanks. Absolutely loved it. Just packed full of angels, and I believe there's even some rainbows in there. Again, these fish, none of these fish are for sale, but just an amazing job. Now here's as an OB, I forget what the name is but I wanted that fish, but unfortunately, that OB zebra. So, and then there's an albino of some sort, but that OB zebra was absolutely freaking amazing. I love that fish. Wanted to buy it. Unfortunately, he had brought it out for somebody else, but those colors were just amazing. Here you see a redfin borlei, pretty much full-grown male. Nice looking fish, good colors. It's in there with some OB borlei. Again, not a big fan of the OB borlei, and there's another redfin right next to it, and again, it looks like some yellow labs in there, and just a good mixture, a good selection. There's your King Kong or your parrots, and again, just a good mixture of fish that is absolutely amazing. So a quick glimpse of a barracuda that they had in there. There's some more Severums. Again, mixture of different fish. And again, it's my first time going through a fish store, trying to shoot some video. There's that OB zebra again. That's just absolutely amazing. Man, wish he would have come home with me. I tried to get him to go find another one, but they've got these in big vats in the back where they do their breeding. It's a nice little neon tank they have there. So a lot of times they'll go out there and catch some fish and bring them in right out of the vats and let you pick it out from there. Fortunately, it was just a little difficult to catch those zebras that day, and that person who got that one scored a really, really good one. And again, this is kind of just a view of the rows. There's about 3 or 4, 5, 6 rows of these types of tank setups there. Again, some more parrots that you see in the background, and again, I can't say enough about this fish store, Cichlid Express, and the people just super, super nice, and it stays pretty busy. They got about 3 or 4 people working there, and sometimes you got to wait a few minutes. There's those albino labs or white labs, and you just have to wait a few minutes sometimes to be served because they're so into making sure everybody takes care. There's another one of their display tanks. This one has the rainbows and some Congo tetras in there. Again, just a wonderful display tank. And there's some more of the smaller, I guess. There's some smaller angels in there. Or excuse me, black skirt tetras, and then some smaller rainbows or dwarf rainbows. And the funny part of it is these tanks, as you go through and look at how clean they are, it's just absolutely amazing that they all could be display tanks with just some decorations that were added to each one of the tanks. They could have made them all in display tanks. That's how good their tanks looked. Here you see a bunch of different miscellaneous products. There's some cichlid stones from underwater galleries, some fake plants, and some unique backgrounds. There we go back in here to a flower horn. Again, there's just so many fish to look at and to pick. I think I was here for probably about 2 hours, working with them. There's some neons and some white clouds they had up front. And again, it's just absolutely crystal clear water. And the tank conditions, again, I can't speak over and over enough about how comfortable and confident I felt about these fish that I would be getting from here. And here you see the oxygen tank where they put oxygen in the bags, and again some more of the aquarium product. You've got some Eheim heaters there, and some different fake plants to go into your aquarium. They even have, there's a refrigerator that has some frozen food, where you can buy some frozen food. There's some mystery snails. They also had, they were demonstrating this tumbler, and which was pretty cool, because they put that out front where everybody could see, and of course they're trying to sell the tumbler, but got some little baby fry in there tumbling around, and you got some more tinfoils and some danios, giant danios, and then looks like some cories down there. I think they were albino cories, if I remember right. And you got some assassin snails in there, and then there's a little crawfish that you could buy if you wanted to. Again, here's some Tanganyikans. Pretty cool looking fish. Again, man, I tell you, the variety was just amazing. The way these tanks looked, and the variety of fish, those little fronds. And again, I don't know a lot about Tanganyikan fish. Looks like those are some calvus that they had in there, and man, again, they had them sectioned off. You get your Tanganyikans were kind of in an area, your community were kind of in an area to some degree. Your Africans, South Americans were a little bit mixed together. I'm not sure what I was trying to show you here. I'm sure there was something. It's in that cave, which is pretty cool. Uh, Again, we got some true red terrors. They had red terrors for sale, and I really thought about buying one of those. My problem is right now is my South American tank. I've got 11 and a 13-inch Oscar in it, and my concern about buying these guys, as much as I would love to get one, because I hear that they're just an amazing looking fish. This is Smokey. He's the mascot for the store. I guess he's been around a long time. Very friendly, wants to be petted all the time. And well, there's that redfin borley eye again. Just another quick look at him. We're going to be coming up on some fish in a bucket, and I don't remember all of what he brought me. I think I remember 2 of the 3 fish that he brought me, but here we go. The middle one, I know. That was a barracuda. That was a Malawi barracuda, which is awesome looking fish. Would love to have that fish. Also, there's a Malawi gar in there, and I cannot remember what the third one was that he brought me. But I was seriously interested in both the Malawi gar and the barracuda. Only problem was a little bit concerned about the size and what would make it in my tank was 6 and 7 and 8 inch fish. So. But that's pretty much it. Just absolutely loved it, and got to talk to the owner, which we're going to see next.
Hey guys, I'm Billy. I'm the owner of Daytona Aquarium / Cichlid Express.
So you are Cichlid Express. I noticed that on the website when I looked it up.
So our local business it's been Daytona Aquarium, I believe, since 1980. Was when Gary has been here since 1967, and then probably around 2010. Gary and I were talking, and that's when we came up. He had a website, but it was just kind of very low key, and that's when we started. Hey baby, how you doing? When we came up with Cichlid Express.
Okay.
We were driving down the road one day on 95 on a fish run, and we were talking about what we were going to name it. And he came up with Cichlid Express. So after that was the birth of it.
That's cool. So you guys have been around since 1967?
The store has been here since 1967. There was a lady named Mama Joan. She was a local entrepreneur. She owned a fried chicken store in Daytona. And around 1980, she wanted to get out of it, and she gave Gary the opportunity to purchase the place. So around then, that's when he did, and he changed it over from there to really be a cichlid shop, and he owned it from 1980 till 2019.
That's awesome. And notice out back a little bit, you guys do some breeding?
Yes, we have greenhouses back there with cement vaults and poly tubs and stuff like that, and we breed a lot of cichlids, a lot of the fancier stuff, Malawi gars, different OBs, albino OBs. There's a lot of different stuff.
Awesome. All right. Well, I know you're busy, but let me ask you one more question.
Yeah.
What is it about owning a store and with customers and all that stuff? What is it about it that really drives you? What do you like about this business?
What do I love about this? One, I love that it's like a project that you just are constantly working on. You constantly are adapting. Anybody that's kept fish a long time, you do something, but you're always learning. You're literally, you have to be. You make a mistake, like we were talking about, you make a stupid mistake, and then, you just have to learn and figure out what it is. But just being able to pick it, over time, and so you really get it. Kyle's been with us, I think, 3-4 years now, and him and I have, been working a lot trying to slowly fine tune and get this place looking super shiny as it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate your time, and again, thank you for letting me shoot all the footage. And man, absolutely love this store, love what's going on here, and it's just so cool to be able to come to a place like this and see the passion and the ownership of in the hobby.
We love what we do. And
I can tell you just from our short time together that you're really into growing the hobby. You're really into making sure that people are walking out of here with the right fish,
yes,
and not having a bad experience.
Right information.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you how many people come in here that have never even heard of a nitrogen cycle. I can't tell you how many hours I spend, probably a month, educating people on that part of it. So
Yep.
it is, you know, there's so much misinformation everywhere, you know, and you're trying to pick people's brains to see what they've picked up over time, you know, and try to re-educate them if you need to.
Absolutely. Well, Billy, thank you for your time. I appreciate
Thanks
it, man.
for coming in.
All right, thank you. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for joining me at Cichlid Express, man, and coming on that trip and joining this channel. And for those of you that have subscribed, I really, really appreciate it. And the viewership is going up. The videos seem to be doing well, man, and that's all because of what you guys are doing. And man, I just absolutely love this hobby, and keep helping me support this and keep growing the hobby. I greatly appreciate it. So remember, thumbs up on the video, leave me some comments. Also give me subscribe to the videos. Would absolutely love it, and then ring that bell so you'll know when the next one drops. And so guys, until next week, wait a minute, something looks different. I'm not at Cichlid Express, but if you come back next week, I'll let you know where I'm at. And oh, by the way, remember, wait for it. Keep loving the fish, guys. We'll see you next week.